All right. Happy Monday to everyone out here. I hope that you got a chance to see the solar eclipse today. I hope that went well for you. I personally did not get out the house, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But today we're going to have a conversation about the First Partner Challenge. We're going to talk about what's included in the First Partner Challenge. When does it start? We're going to give you all the details. So, because we're now a large platform, I decided to just go public and talk to everyone about that so they could know like what's happening, what's the instructions, you can be prepared. Because in just 2 days away now, we're going to get started with our First Partner Challenge. So, I want to take some time, probably about 30 minutes, to go over what's going to happen, what to expect. And then I'll answer questions with some folks afterwards. So if you want to, while we're waiting for folks to get into the room, go ahead and put in there your name. Go ahead and put in there who you are, what you do, so we can get this party rolling. And as always, if you have questions or you want to talk to someone from my team, right below, service@govcongiants.com. There's a phone number you can call. There's a text number you can send a text to. So again, as always, if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to my team. So let's, who do we have here tonight? Excuse me. Who do we have in the room tonight? Let me know who's here. And I promise you, I don't want this to be a long live because we're really, the only thing I want to talk about is what's happening and what you can expect come April 10th. So for those of you who may have questions about what we're doing, with the challenge, I definitely want to be able to answer those quickly for those folks out here. So the first thing I want to let people know is, yes, like Brandon said, thank you, David, for hitting my new social goal. I appreciate it. Yes, we hit 40,000 subscribers. So thank you guys. Matter of fact, thanks, my man, Big Dave, for pointing that out to us. I will share that. Yes, we hit 40,000 subscribers today. So thank you for all those who subscribe. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We'd like to get to 50,000 next. So I do want to thank those. Yes, we hit 40,000 subscribers today. So big whoops on that. So yes, thank you for that. And then we're gonna talk about the 5-day challenge and what's in the challenge, what's included, what does that look like? But yes, thank you, my man, David, for sharing that. So let's talk about the actual challenge itself. And so we've done these in the past, and I will put it back up on the screen for you real quick. What's up, Justina? All right. A couple things. So first and foremost, all of the information about the challenge is going to be done in federalhelpcenter.com. So if you're not on federalhelpcenter.com, go there first. You'll see on here we have listed the challenge days. Starts April 10th, and then April 11th, challenge 2, the 12th, the 13th, and then the final days on the 14th. If you notice on here on the challenge, you'll see, right, we've got some other people on there with me. So each day of the challenge, I will have 2 consultants with me, alumni members, subject matter experts with me on that challenge day to help people answer questions about the challenge itself. Now, the idea behind the challenge, people say, what's the challenge? What is it? So what happens is, if you go, and I don't know how many people follow me on Instagram, but if you recently, I did this past Saturday, I spoke on Instagram about the importance of finding good partners. And so when I spoke about the importance of finding good partners, the idea is that the contracts, right, for most of us starting out, right, we don't have the ability to service the contracts on our own. In fact, today, literally today, my first text message this morning was one of my friends who was looking for a janitorial company that could do a $10 million contract. That was my first text message of the day. It was like, hey, Eric, do you have any janitorial companies? I need one right away because we got a potential sole source contract. And the value of the contract was $10 million per year janitorial. So, well, some of you out here do janitorial services. You can't do a $10 million a year janitorial contract. So what happens is if you had the right teaming partner that had that capacity, guess what? I could have told my friend, yes, I've got someone that has that capacity. Call this person. The government is trying to sole source them a contract right away. And so the idea behind the first partner challenge is to help you get your first partner, teaming partner, or consultant client that has capacity so that you can start going after some of these projects in a major way. So what we want to do is we want to show you how to attract larger teaming partners, larger companies to do business with you so that you can take that to the government and sell their services to the government, sell your joint capacity to the government so that you can now work on much bigger projects than you could on your own. And so that is the essence of the challenge, right? And so over the next 5 days, our goal is to take you from knowing nothing, right, where you're at today, to understanding what a partner is, what is a partner looking for, how to speak to partners, how to talk to partners, how to convince partners to work with you so that you can now, right, take that particular partner and bring them to the government. Olivia, the contract was in the DC metro area, somewhere in the DMV. So so going back to that is, so the idea is there's 47 people watching this, right? There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watch this video. The idea is if we teach you how to find larger partners, we get them to agree to work with you. I just grew your capacity by millions of dollars. Now, when you go talk to government agencies, when you talk to subcontractors, when you talk to large primes like Boeing, stuff like that, now you have the capacity to be able to support these larger entities. So that's the idea behind the challenge, is that we want to increase your capacity so now you can partner with people like me. So let me give you some examples, right? So when we look at things like this, so we look at these types of products, these are the kind of products that when we look at, right? And so I just brought up some examples, right? So when we start looking at some of these larger projects, 10 million, $1 million to 5, right? 24 million, 5 million, 25 million, 100 million, 10 million, right? When you start looking at that, in order to go after those projects, you need capacity. So we want to show you how you gain that capacity by partnering up with other large businesses. So, but what do you say to them? How do you attract them? How do you get them to answer your phone calls? How do you get them to call you back? Right? How are you able to do all these activities I have on my hoodie here? Right? But when you talk to the government, to get them to say, okay, Angelique, we want to work with you. Olivia, we want to work with you. Right? How do you get that? So we're going to help you to build your capacity, not you internally, but by teaming you up, partnering you up in terms of a strategic relationship with a much larger entity so that you can now support them, right? Whether you want to be a consultant, whether you want to be the prime or a subcontractor, either way. So that's the idea behind the challenge. But by the way, keep asking questions. So again, we're doing for example, we're doing this event, right, with strategic growth, and you'll see me on here speaking. All right. And so again, this is us partnering up people with tribal companies. So folks like DDC, right? This company does a couple $100 million a year. I spoke at their Navajo Nation Summit. Companies like Huli Huau, they do several $100 million a year. Companies like Miami Nation Enterprises, again, several $100 million a year. So when you look at this list, Kaiva, Puniepa, Deep Creek, how do you start working with these kind of firms? How do you bring capacity? How do you support those kind of firms? So essentially what the idea is, it's, yes, we can all start at zero and try to grow our way up little by little, inching our ways up. Or we could do what I did, right? Or you could do what Robert Swain did. Somebody said they saw the Robert Swain video. Robert Swain was only able to do $1 million contracts because he had partners that could support multi-million-dollar contracts, not because Robert Swain could do it. So that's the idea behind the challenge. So let's go back. So if you've already signed up for the challenge, make sure that you are already inside under Federal Help Center where it says First Partner Challenge. All right, make sure you're already in here. Okay. So make sure that you're already on the First Partner Challenge. You should have gotten an email about it. I will drop the link again here. for those of you. So make sure you're in First Partner Challenge because all of the homework, all the assignments, all the things we're going to be doing is going to be done inside of Federal Help Center. If you still want to sign up for the challenge, I'm dropping a link here. Today is the last day to sign up. If you still want to sign up for the challenge, right? You can still sign up for the challenge. I'm dropping a link here. Today is the last day to sign up for the challenge. You can also click the link below my name right here, govconeric.com/join. That'll take you to the challenge page. By the way, yes, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. So all the assignments, everything is going to be done inside of Federal Help Center. So we'll be doing it there. I also conveniently, I did put it on this events page. But if you're not part of the challenge, if you don't have a ticket in the challenge, then what it does, it just redirects you back to the challenge page. So if you click on this link, it's going to redirect you back to the challenge section here. So just kind of FYI, just share that with folks out here. By the way, if you're not in Federal Help Center, you should get in Federal Help Center. Maurice said he did not receive the email. So Maurice, like I said, we will, again, going back to here. If you want to send an email, Maurice here, we'll check for that. Someone is monitoring this particular live, so we'll check for that. But you can feel free to call us or email us, Maurice, if you did not get the email. Okay. All right, a couple other things I want to go over. So the schedule right now, as it begins, we're starting April the 10th. It's 5 p.m. Eastern time to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And so we're going to do that April 10th, April the 11th, right? And April the 12th. I wonder why this is showing my old screen. And then on the last 2 days, on the 13th and the 14th, we're going to do from 1 to 3 o'clock. Okay. So we're going to do 5 to 7. And then on Saturday, Sunday, we're going to do 1 to 3. Right now, we have 2 coaches per day, in addition to myself teaching. And so we'll be looking for people that are ready to go, that want to scale their business, that want to scale where they're at and go to the next level. So that's the kind of people we're looking for. This is not for people who want to do micro purchases. This is not for people who want to go after small projects. This is for people who want to go after bigger projects and they want to be bold. They want to start trying some. They realize that they've gotten to the place where they're at and at what they're doing is not working. And so they're realizing that, right? It's now or never. And what's interesting to me, and I'm going to share with you guys something else on the screen shortly, is that so many of us, right, we like to shoot for the stoplight instead of shooting for the moon. And I've listened to so many podcasts where it says it's just as easy. It's just as amount of work, I should say, not easy. Just same amount of work to build a large business as it is to build a small business. So why not try and work on building a large business? And so I'm looking for those people who want to build, $10 million, $20 million companies. And those are the people that we're looking to track, right? The person who says, hey, I want to play it safe. I want to play it small. This is not the challenge for you, right? This is for people who want to swing for home runs. And they want to really go out and swing for the fences, because what you will realize, and what I keep telling people, is my $5 million project was the easiest project that I ever did, because I'd have to do the work. My $50,000 projects are the hardest projects I ever do, because I have to now physically do the work. I can't attract people that are big enough to come support me on 50,000 because there's not enough money at the table. But on 5 million, I can get a $30 million company to support me because there's a lot of money floating around. So I say that because for me, that is such an important thing to folks. I'm going to share this with you because I know how hard it is for some of us, right, to step out and say, They told me, Eric, start from the bottom, grow small, play it safe. And then when you look at it, you're like, they tell you that, but that person who told you that, where are they at in their life? How far have they taken things? How far have they made it? Because my successful friends, they don't talk like that. My successful friends, what they say is total opposite to that. It's counterintuitive to that. I'm going to share with you guys something. So one of the people that's speaking with me at this conference, oh man, I want to show you this guy speak with me. He posted something recently. That I want to share with you guys that I think is very important. I can't find it. Man, I'm trying to find this post. Man, I want to find this post. I shared it with my team this morning, and I'm trying to find it. He must have taken it down. Either way, so one of the guys that speak with me at this conference, Colossal Contracting. Okay. He says, when people say your team got really lucky on that one, it's a good thing you're in the right place at the right time. That would never happen to me at the same time. He says, my team's weekend work. You see that? Look at that. Okay. That's it. Their team's weekend work. Reading these books. But I want to show you something else that he wrote, which I thought was pretty cool. When they do their sales kickoff meetings, they give people a pair of Jordan shoes. This is the shoe that they give out to their salespeople. You see what it says on Notorious Big? It says, it was all a dream. Shirley, we only have one program. You see that shoe? This is what they give out to their salespeople. But there was something else that he wrote. Colossal Voluntary Book Club has changed the working culture of employees. Each staff is taking responsibility for the actions, how they impact their success. They're evolving. Colossal Contracting, Extreme Ownership, how U.S. Navy SEALs and when. Chaco Willard. So these are kind of people that you're up against. By the way, when you look at it, oh, yeah, Shirley, you saw different prices. Right, but you said all the different programs. So what you're looking at is, Shirley, on the site, right? So for people, when you go on there, Shirley, one program is if you have a business, right? And you have a business that you need to grow and scale. Then the other program is essentially for consultants who don't have businesses that want that, because you don't have a business, essentially, we teach you how to work with other businesses to grow and scale using that model. So really, it's just, do you have a business or do you not have a business? A lot of times we say, because we're an LLC, that we think we have a business. But the truth is, just forming an LLC doesn't give you as a business. And so I think it's sad because a lot of times we think that the fact that we created an LLC means you have a business. If you just setting up your LLC doesn't give you, right, when you go to the government, what's going to happen is they're going to say to you that, oh, they're going to say to you that, okay, tell me about your past history. Tell me about your past experience. Or you're going to start with small projects like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, which is nothing wrong with that. But the idea for us is the government right now is bundling more and more projects. So the government is making these projects bigger and bigger. And what's happening is not that you can't start and do it, right, without actually doing government work, because you can. The problem is, if you, how are we going to do $1 million project if that's the first thing that comes to you, or how are you going to do a $200,000 or $400,000 project? So the goal for me is to give you that capacity, Shirley, by teaching you how to level up with partners. But if you have a business and let's say you're doing $500,000, $1 million a year, Shirley, then the Contracting Academy teaches you how to actually do contracting, right, as opposed to becoming a consultant. That's all. So that's the difference between the two. But that's it. So one's for people with experience, one's for people with no experience. But the Contract Academy includes, so if you look at Contract Academy, it includes everything that's in a consultant program. So it's not different. It's more of one's a step up. So again, the challenge for everybody, it's 2 hours for work. And I would say you need 2 hours of homework. So I would commit 4 hours a day for the challenge. Jonathan Brown says, participating in the challenge to accelerate our market research and capital capabilities, excited to match align small businesses, also lose at 10 of NFL contracts. Good job, Jonathan. And that's what we have to look at, right? How do we accelerate our learning? That's the goal here, folks. Accelerate your learning. I want you to get in the room with me. I want you guys to be with me, right, when we're doing this stuff. So, look, hold on. I found a clip, but it's not what I want to show you, but I'll show you this clip. See what that thing says? It's going to be you or them. You see what his thing said? It's going to be you or them. That's the way these people look at it. That's why this company successfully did hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Because that's the way they're looking at stuff. It's you or them. So again, so today's the last day to sign up. We're looking forward to everyone. I hope everyone's got the questions. We allocated the people, where to go, where it's taking place at, the idea behind the challenge, right? What other questions do folks have out here? Who's participating? Times and dates, emails, where to call, ask for questions. I can say this: if you cannot devote 2 hours a day, I don't think that you should probably be looking at government contracting anyways, because we're talking about 5-day commitment here. So if you can't devote 2 hours a day, a 5-day commitment to get around some of our most successful students, then I just don't think this is for you anyways. Personally, like I said, when we look at, Larry says, so Larry, you won't get a ticket. You're going to get an email, right, Larry, to join. You won't get a ticket, Larry. So you should get an email of where to go and where to join. Yeah. So again, everything will be recorded. So if you miss a day, you will get access to the recordings. They will be available as well. And also, you're going to get the PDF document that goes with it so you can work along. So you get that as well. So if you can't make the dates, all the dates, you'll get that. So these are the coaches. Maria Martinez, you guys already know Maria. If you don't know Maria, she was a former kindergarten teacher. and she became a consultant. Her first consultant client she got after a couple phone calls, and the first project she won with them, she netted $5,000, and she didn't have to do any work. Randy, we featured her the other day. She did $5 million with one of her partners in terms of contracts. And then from there, she went on to literally, with the relationship she built from the FAA, she partnered with another student in the class, and they did hundreds of thousands of dollars of contracts between them individually. Marcus Streeter, who now is an Apex Accelerator, he did over $3 million in contract wins for one of his consultant clients. Zach, $400K in wins for his consultant client. Mark's numbers are somewhere between, I don't remember his numbers exactly, but somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million. And then Linda Rice, she's the one that takes the cake. Her and Tony, her husband, did $22 million in wins. She'll be featuring on here coming up in a couple weeks. So that's our all-star team, and of course myself. You know who I am. So, but that's the team. Those are the coaches that are going to be coaching you, in addition to myself, over the next 5 days. So, I think it's a bargain. And so we're, like I said, we're excited to have you guys. We're excited to host you. And I'm looking forward to this class, because this will be the first class that comes out of this. And so I'm looking for this class to be the next class of winners that comes back, right, and starts teaching other people. That's my expectation, is that everybody here, they win and they come back and they start teaching other people. That's my expectation. So I'm going to find this quote because I couldn't find it here earlier. I'm going to share this. So Shirley, again, do you have a business? So the blueprint to consulting, Shirley, does not teach you how to actually do contracts. It just teaches you how to become a consultant. So the blueprint to consulting, Shirley, does not teach you how to win government contracts. It teaches you how to become a consultant. If you want to learn how to do government contracts, you got to take the Contracting Academy. You have to upgrade to that if you want to actually learn how to do contracts, market research, proposals, right? The consulting only teaches you how to become a consultant. That's the differences. I'm going to share this because I thought this was interesting. That this is what I was trying to find. So this guy wrote this, and he said, "This is why I love working for this company." I want you guys to see this. He says that it's Saturday, and some hungry, aggressive, relentless sales rep is on the beach with your customer. They are doing joint family vacations with your customer. They are skiing with your customer. They are mapping out their account plan for how to take your lunch. They don't want your husband or wife to get that new kitchen. They don't want your kids to be able to afford the best education. They're looking to put you out of business. They're with your number one OEM, building the relationship so that they get the next registration, so that you can become lost in a crowd of VARs while they become the industry leader in their territory. What are you doing to stop them? So this is the people that you got. This is what's happening. Okay. This is what's happening. Somebody else is out there. So what we want to teach you guys is, I want you out there, right? um, with the customer. How do I help you get with the customer? I got to get you guys up to capacity so that you can go out to the customer so that you can sign those next deals. My man Tony from Tudor Group says, I consulted a friend, didn't even realize I was consulting him. He went from not knowing anything about government contract to winning his first contract within 5 months, 90K. This included him signing up and Sam to win his contract. He got a freebie. All right. Okay. So Shirley, the price of the lifetime. Yes, we do have the lifetime. Oh, you like, I mean, I was supposed to say your rent is due every day. That's right. Thanks, Eric, for signing up. Yes, Shirley, we do have the lifetime. That lifetime price is 5K. And you could break it up into payments. So if you are already a member of one of our courses already, then you could buy a challenge ticket. You don't have to actually buy a course to be part of the challenge. But you do need to have a course to be in the challenge. That's a requirement because we need you to actually learn while you're going through the challenge. So some of the homework assignments will be to watch some of the content that's in the course material. So that is a requirement that you must have the course at the very least. So that is a requirement. So, but I love that. Hey, this if this doesn't align with you, okay, this I align with this. You know what I like? It says they don't want your husband or your wife to get a new kitchen. Okay, they don't want you to get a new kitchen. My friend tells me all the time. We used to say, we look at it like they're trying to kill my kids. They want to take away your family. They don't want you to get that new car, the house. They don't want you to remodel your house. They don't want you to get a new AC fix. You got to use that so old AC. So I like this. I align with this. You see what it says at the top? If this resonates with you, then join our team. So I'm telling y'all the same thing. If working on big projects with big companies to support the federal government, if that resonates with you, then you should be joining our team. If that resonates with you. Now, again, I can't wait. I'm excited. Tony, I'm trying to bring you some partners out here. I want some partners that I can work with. I wish that one of you, I wish that we had did this challenge like 3 months ago and one of you guys got me a big janitorial company partner, because then when I got that phone call for that $10 million job this morning, I could have put one of y'all down on that. So I really wish that I could have got one of you guys hooked up with a large janitorial company, so that way, like, boom, you could have got that. I could have turned that call over to you. By the way, it's not too late. So if somebody, right, over the next 5 days, if we do come up with a janitorial company that's big enough, I can still call my man and say we found somebody. But the project is $10 million a year. But that's just one example. This is happening all the time. So that's just one example, right? We have people that are looking at projects in Ukraine. So again, it's happening all the time. But I need you guys to go level up and get some folks with capacity so we could do this together. So that's all I'm saying. Bring me somebody with capacity that I could take to the government, that I could take to one of my other relationship partners here, back over here, and one of these guys, right? Bring me by somebody with capacity so we could go after some of this stuff. By the way, real quick, I'll change the subject real quick while we're here. We're going to be next week. We're going to be at this summit in Wilmington, North Carolina. So we're going to be in North Carolina at this summit. So if you're in around North Carolina area, I'm going to be there. Randy is going to be there. We're hosting an event there. We'll be talking about coming up. So yeah, Shirley, the contract is in DC. So we'll be in Carolina. So be on the lookout. We're going to do we'll be doing a meet and greet in North Carolina, Wilmington, next week on the 16th. So that's why I got to finish up the challenge. So I got to fly to Carolina. We're going to do a training day with a bank. So we got a bank sponsor, and we're also going to be doing, we'll be doing a meet and greet in North Carolina. Yeah, we haven't created the link yet for the Carolina event. Just be on the lookout for it. If you're not on our email list, please make sure you're on our email list, guys. We'll send an email out to everybody who's on our email list. But yes, we will be in Wilmington next week at this summit here, Southeast Regional Federal Contractor Summit. So I'll be there next week. All right. What else? We're good? We're good? Shirley, hey, if you got somebody that could do $10 million all year janitorial contract, does Academy 3.0 have Blueprint and Consulting in it? Yes, Richard. Academy 3.0 does have Blueprint and Consulting inside. Yes, it does. Yes. If you're in Academy 3.0 or Federal Contract Academy, the Blueprint and Consulting is inside of there. Tyrone, it's not enough to be interested in a janitorial contract. You can't be interested. I need someone that has capacity to do it. I don't need somebody that's interested. I need someone that has capacity that can take it on. All right. So we are wrapping up. Questions, comments, concerns. What's questions, comments, concerns? All right. What else? I have one for 2 million. Tyrone, the contract is 10 million a year. 10 million. Somebody that does 1 million cannot do a $10 million contract. That's why we're doing the challenge, Tyrone, because we need to get you need a person that does 20 or $30 million a year to be able to take on a $10 million contract. Tavin, I'll put you down for a volunteer. Let me see. Sam, looking forward to it, baby. Tavin, Tavin, send us an email, service@govcongiants.com, and say you want to volunteer at the Wilmington event. We're not hosting the conference. We are hosting a separate training event in conjunction with the conference, and we're hosting a meet and greet. So I'll be there. Randy will be there. Brandon will be there. Ryan will be there. So some of our executive people will be there. So we're going to throw a reception, and we're going to do a live training in Wilmington, Carolina. So, all right. But yeah, Tyrone, the contract is 10 million. By the way, this that I'm talking about is a sole source. Yeah, that means they're giving to someone. But again, we get these calls all the time. We get them for IT, we get them for cyber, we get them for everything. Sam said those meet and greets in Atlanta is epic. We don't even get a chance. I know, Sam. So what we want to do this time around with our meet and greet is we want to make sure that we're going to set up a room so we can teach something first, right? And then we'll do the reception afterward. So that way, you'll have like an hour or two of learning with some banks about, how to do business with them. And then we'll open it up for the meet and greet. So we're just going to add a little bit of element of learning first. And then we'll do the, we'll plug everybody in together. All right. American Building Brand said, just made a payment. What's next? What's next? You should get the email from our team. and the email will take you over. You have a welcome email. Once you have the welcome email, it should take you over here. So you can sign up. It enrolls you into the private group under Federal Help Center called First Partner Challenge. And then inside of there are all of the actual scheduled events and the times. And so they'll have all the information in there. Ooh, Lorraine coming to the May event. Nice. Can you give an example of what you mean when you say you'll teach us how to be a consultant? At the moment, your description of consultant program a little vague. So what that means is in a consultant program, right? What happens is, and thank you for, by the way, thank you for asking that question. That's a great question. So what I mean by that is that all of the things that I did to get a large company, right? Where to find them. I wish I knew your name. I'm just going to call you, your name is Luxury Car Store. So Luxury Car Store, so can you give an example? What do you mean when you say teach us how to be a consultant? So one is, right, where do you find people at? What do you say to them? The agreements that you need. When you agree with them to work, represent them, right? What are the things that you're agreeing to do? So we've taken and we've learned the hard way, good clients versus bad clients, right? Where to find clients, what way to convince people to work with you, all those things. Because we're trying to, again, everything that we're doing is trying to save you time or money. So I save you time because I say, okay, if you say these things, people will not respond. If you say these things, people tend to respond. Now, once you have their attention, then what do you tell them next to get them, convince them to want to work with you? Now, once you convince them to want to work with you, how do you determine or qualify if that's a good person to work with? Now you get to decide, do you actually want to work with them? Because just the fact that they want to work with you doesn't make them a good person. What are the traits that do they need to have to be considered a good consultant client for you to take to the federal government? Okay, now that you said, okay, you found the person, you convinced them to work with you, you put on the document, you said, okay, they're a good candidate. Now you have a contracting agreement in place to agree for the monetary compensation. Well, what does that look like? How much money should you be asking for, right? What should you agree in exchange to do it? Now, after you've done that part, what are some of the benchmarks and measurements that they're actually going to do the things that you're looking to do? How do you decide if the relationship is a good relationship or a poor relationship, or if it's going in the right direction? Does that help? So those are the steps that we take you through in the consultant program, right? And then provide you with the documents that you need to be able to sign with people and what your expectations are and what should their expectations be from you and vice versa. Because, excuse me, I feel like this thing has something in my nose. The cotton from this hoodie. So what happens is essentially is that a lot of us, we get into situations where we try to do it on our own, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then what happens if the person doesn't pay you? Or what happens if the person doesn't do what you need them to do? Or what happens if the person wants you to do more stuff than you agreed to pay for? So a lot of those kind of things, that's what we want to help people work through, because that's where the rubber meets the road. Not in the necessarily like, okay, yeah, I got this person that said that I could be their consultant client, but then what do you do next? So that's what we teach. Hope that helps. Yes, Shirley, exactly. No worry, Maurice. We'll make sure to get you hooked up. I don't know why you guys keep hanging on this janitorial contract. Nobody has said to me they have someone that can do a $10 million contract. Y'all ask me all these questions about some one little stupid contract that you can't even do. If I told you I had a $30 million construction contract, which I showed you on the screen. No one's asking about those projects. But you can't listen. The point is you can't do any of this stuff. So what difference does it make where it's at? What states does it cover? You can't do it. You don't have anybody who could do it. So it doesn't make a difference. All right. What else? Forget about the janitorial contract. It's just one example of thousands of contracts out there. It just happened to be a recent example because I got a call today about it. What else? Everybody's in FHC? Everybody's in FHC? At the very least, you better be in FHC. At the very least, everyone should be inside of FHC. All right. What else? Yes. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Join FHC. We're going to keep plugging you in on all of our events, what we got going on, what we got coming up. Like I said, my man said I got contact with one of the biggest food providers in the world. Is that something you can work with? Listen, if you say biggest in the world, I can always work with anybody who's the biggest in the world. We can work with them. But the trick is, can we get them to sign an agreement to work with us? That's the difference. That's the difference. But I will say, I like your thinking. Anybody out here, I'm telling you, if that didn't resonate with you, they don't want your husband or wife to get that new kitchen. I don't know what's going to move you guys. I don't know what to tell you. A man said, after identifying a target market, would you recommend building relationships with Osbus or consultant clients first? Should this be a simultaneous process? After doing your target market list, so that target market is going to give you Ostabus, to talk to. But I would recommend you find the consultant client first before you do the target market report. So I think your process is a little bit out of order, right? So you want to find a consulting client, and then you do the research based on what they can do, and then you talk to Ostabus. So I think it's just out of order, is what you're writing up here. But yes, everybody should want to do everything that's on my shirt here. This is all the stuff that you should be doing. Everything that's on my hoodie. Tyrone, that's what we teach you inside of the challenge. That's the whole purpose of the challenge, to teach you how to partner with big companies in the construction industry. Correct. Yes, you have the horse before the buggy. Sam says, I have the client. I just need a teaming partner. Perfect. Dion says, I need that shirt. That shirt is on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, any of the videos, matter of fact, I'll drop the link in there for the merch. But it should be on the YouTube. What else? Yes, Maria did do a good job of explaining what consulting is and how she did it. What else? So we got partners in the food industry. That's great. Yes, if you want to bid on contracts, yes, you got to start with consulting, but the consulting only teaches you how to become a consultant. you're going to have to upgrade to the contracting academy to actually learn how to bid on contracts. So it's just stair stepping you, right? We just stair stepped you one level. So what I've found is that when we were giving people the contracting academy, what was called Academy 3.0, 2.0, 1.0, if they didn't have a business, then they weren't able to leverage that. So once we realized that, we said, okay, we got to help them find large teaming partners to work with first. Then once we do that, now we can actually help them to implement all of the things that we have, right, inside of the academy. So that's basically what happened. Is so we just realized that we're doing it backwards. But going back to the person who asked about the shirt. So if you go to any of the bottom of my videos, it says shop with the Eric Coffee store, and you'll see the merch below. And you click on the hoodie, and then it takes you over here to spring, and then you'll see different colors. This is a sweater. Let's see. So there are the hoodies right there. Boom. Maria has this color. This is a sweet color, by the way. I love that color. Here's white, gray. That pale pink is sick. I love that pale pink. Boom. All right. So someone says, so No Limit says, can a person earn 100K for 2024 through the Blueprint course? So yes and no. Okay. The Blueprint course, right, is going to help you get the client. You still need to upgrade to the Contract Academy to learn how to actually now bid on the contracts. But my proposition to you is, I'll teach you how to do that as well, right? So once you find the large partner, then you could just upgrade, pay the difference, and go into the academy now to learn what the steps you need to do to help get them contracts. So that's the process that we're going to take you through. All right. I work with a facilities management service firm as a capacity to execute multi-million contract. I still got connections. Perfect. So we just need to get them signed up. So that they can, you know what I mean? Like now the goal, right? So if you already have this, guess what? Then all we got to do is help you connect the dots. So if you already have this person with a capacity, then doesn't it make sense for you to already connect the dots? Dion says, I signed up for Academy 3.0, doesn't have 23 mile, has 16. So someone brought that up to me the other day, Dion, about some stuff that they thought were missing, and then they just didn't know where to find it at. So again, that sounds like a call you can make, an email that you can send to us, and then we'll look into what is missing. Yes, the vault is still there. Of course, that vault's there, consulting is there. I'd be curious what you're missing. But like Justina said, let me ask you something, Dion. Have you looked at what's inside of those 16 modules? Have you looked inside of that to see, Dion, what's in them? So, I mean, so I would take a look inside there to see, because it's funny, like that's even inside those 16. Go open them up and you'll look inside of them first and see and tell me if it's not jam packed. She said skimmed it. Yes. Okay. All right. I listen. I know it's jam packed because I did it, because people complain it's too long. It's too much stuff. So I've never had somebody say it's not enough stuff in there. I don't know what you're missing out of you said the 7, but that's easy. Someone can take a look and see what it is. Correct. Your client is the one doing the proposals and bids, not you. That is correct. Munch. Yes, you were doing the market research. and they're the ones doing the proposal and the bids. But you are guiding them, right? You're recommending it to them. You are the ones that are making the suggestions on what things that you want them to submit to, because you're the expert, not them. How do we keep from overloading or crossing over each other? I don't know what that means, Sam. Okay, Shirley, you're in. Good stuff. Nice. See you in a couple days. Yeah. So, any suggestion to prep for 410? Yeah. Go through the actual consulting course. Go through that. So once you get the blueprint, go through the consulting course in preparation for 410. That way, your learning curve will be that much better. Is 1,500 a month a good base to charge plus commission? I don't know. Depends on what you're doing, right? Because everything is negotiable. So that's what I talk about, right? We got to talk about, right? What are you actually doing, getting paid for the 1,500 a month to do, right? It could be good. It could be not so good, right? It just depends on what the expectations are and what you agreed upon with the person on what you're going to do. What else? Hit the like button. 93 people watching. Hit the like button, please. All right. My man Sam says, I just need the dots connected. Sam, that's listen, you already know that's all you need, right? All that's most people, most of us already have most of the things that we already need. You just need the dots connected. And so my goal from this is that I hope, because I don't necessarily think I'm necessarily the best trainer. So this is the first time that I brought other people to come and train with me. Like, so when I say that, is because, maybe Maria helps you to connect the dots better. Maybe Zach helps you to connect it better. Maybe Marcus helps you, like maybe something that they say triggers or sparks something that I didn't say it that way, right? Like maybe something that L. Martin did. So, for example, and let me just say this, L. Martin did some state contracts. Hers weren't even federal, but they were huge. Maria did a federal contract, Coast Guard. So everyone's worked with different agencies and different organizations. So they're going to have different experiences to share. So this will be the first time that we've actually done any type of content that I've ever created, training, that's the combination of multiple people's ideas and multiple people's wins across a variety spectrum of different contract types and vehicles and organizations. So I've never even done anything like this before. So this is the first time I've ever done anything like that. Yes, correct. Your client is the one doing the proposal and the bid's not you. That is correct, Shirley. Yes. That's why Fleece. Yes, the package that we buy, the contracting and consulting in one, is called Federal Contract Academy. That is that's the package you can buy. When you go down to, you'll see there's two packages on there. Let me see if I can find it. When you scroll down, you'll see two packages. One says Federal Contract Academy, right? Which, by the way, again, I don't know why people look right here. It says on the Contract Academy, it includes everything inside the blueprint to consulting. So it includes all this other stuff as well. So you're not missing out. Carl says, sign up this morning, can't wait. No. Thank you, Carl. Good stuff. Love it. What other questions? I see 89 people still hanging around. What are we doing here? Listen, if you haven't, what are we doing? Oh, okay. No worries, please. Yeah, on your phone it's a little bit harder to read. Hey, I, I, I can tell you right now, L, Martin, and Tony out of Atlanta, they've already told me. They told me they're going to be at the May event with me, but also she told me that they're looking for some people to partner with as well. So they're also eagerly looking for partners. So I'm just telling you that. That's what she's already told me, that they're looking for partners. Oh, I can tell you that they are actively looking for partners. They're specifically in the construction industry. Yeah. So Havana says the topics we're covering each day. Yeah. So essentially, what we're going to do, Havana, we're taking you through, right. And let me pull up the documents so I can tell you. So the idea is to take you from, right, where you're at today to understanding the different types of partners, right? Figure out which type of partner is best suited for your situation. Then telling you how to go and find and identify those partners, right? What to say to get them interested, what to say to get them to respond to you, how to get them to take interest in you, and then how to get them to sign up, and then how to qualify them to make sure they're the right partner for you, because we don't just take anybody. So I don't want just anybody, because I want to make sure they're the right person or company that's going to help you. And then after we agree they're the right partner for you, then we want to talk about, right, what does the agreement look like, and structuring what are the roles and responsibilities of the agreement, and what they should expect from you and what you should expect from them in terms of the agreement. And then what should your activities be like on a day-to-day basis and weekend basis, right? Oh, I forgot. And obviously we talk about money and how much you should charge, how much they should pay you, and all this kind of stuff. So we talk about that. So that's the agenda, Havana, that we're going to take you through. Hope that explains it. All right, Olivia, looking forward to it. Tanya says, if the client's doing a bidding proposal, what does it do as an obligation to our client partner? So you're going to be doing, I'm sorry, you're going to be doing, Tanya, essentially all the business development work. So you're going to be the one, right? So it's the same thing kind of like that you guys are doing now, where you're going out on SAM and you're looking for projects. You're going to be doing that, but at a much higher level. And so the reason why we find the partners, Tanya, is because big companies, right? They're already busy doing other stuff. So this is not their primary focus. And so the idea is you're going to be the one leading the charge in that. And when you bring them something, they're not having to essentially filter through it. You should have already filtered through all the stuff. You should have already justified why it makes sense. You should have been, you should have already said, hey, based on my research, based on, right, all the stuff that you've done for them that we teach how to do. Now, right, this is where you see this makes the most sense. And so the idea is that you're going to help them qualify opportunities so they're not wasting their time on everything that they see out there. So that's the goal. So Maurice, we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that in the challenge. We're really talking about what goes in the challenge. We'll talk about that in a challenge, Maurice. But they don't necessarily need to be registered in SAM. No. You're welcome, Havana. Thank you. I appreciate you. So Simon, this is what we go over in the challenge. What criteria you use to identify partners, right? So we go over all this kind of stuff in the challenge. Anthony says, what makes the most sense to do with a client with no experience? Sub work, find another company, or do bigger stuff fast? So again, Anthony, you got to qualify that, because a client with no experience, how big are they, right? What's their capacity? That's the stuff that we got to talk about. How big are they and what's their capacity? Yes, the challenge will be recorded. Alan White says, I have a client that can work in all 50 states. They're huge. Alan, that's what we want to hear. So I love it. Yes. So does the market research intensely in your course? Yes, Equator. If you join Federal Contracting Academy, right, that teaches you how to do the market research. So yes, we actually have, you don't even want to know. Like on market research, that's probably the section that we get the most compliments from on our course is the market research, because that's what I stand on and that's what I believe in the most. So for me, market research is the biggest part of the whole thing. So on a Contract Academy, yes, we've got, I don't know, probably 15 hours of content on market research. Tanya said they're too busy to search for product, busy to write proposals. So again, Tanya, so these are good questions. This is part of how we qualify the clients. They're not too busy to search for projects. If you look at Tanya, right, the amount of projects that come out in the government, there's thousands a day. You're helping them qualify the best ones. What you're doing is, it's like Uber Eats. Are people really too busy to get in their car and go get food? Not really. It's just convenience. So yes, technically we could all go drive and get our food. Do we want to? Sometimes we got more money than time. So you're trading that. And so these companies, they're not too busy. Yes, they can go search everything, but they want you as an expert to qualify opportunities that match up to some type of parameters that they set forth, whether that's region, whether it's size, whether it's type of project, whatever the case may be. So in essence, maybe they've tried it before and they found that it was on the top of their other work, it was burdensome. But if you bring them a qualified opportunity, then they'll make time to put it together. Carl, does them register in SAM mean they're not looking for a offer? No. So Carl, again, if you guys go back and you watch the videos that we did with Miguel and some of the other people, Miguel and Maria targeted people that were already registered in SAM. Their first two clients came out of SAM. But then other people have found clients that were not in SAM and brought them to the marketplace. Justine says that market research is intense. Anthony says a company around 20 million, the market research was super informative to go through. There you go. Tyrell Rose says, growing your own business versus growing clients. Why be a consultant versus starting a company from scratch? So Tyrell, what I found is that, this is a great question, by the way, is that so many people don't know how to run a business. So Tyrell, I think that what happens is that we all have this false sense that running a business is somehow easy and that anyone can do it, and that making payroll, all those things are trivial. I went through lawsuits running my own business. I had days where the client didn't pay me. I mean, like the customer, not the government itself, but like as a subcontractor, I didn't get paid. So then I had to have savings to cover for that. So running your own business, for a lot of people, it's not for the faint of heart. Running your own business, yes, ultimately my goal, Tyrell, is for everyone to run their own business. What I just found is that for a lot of people, particularly those of us who've never had experience running businesses, who may come from the corporate world, who may be, just giving us a shot, kicking the tires, I found that as a consultant, you can learn on somebody else's dime. So you could do all the same activities, Tyrell, of running your own business without taking the risk of writing the checks from the bank accounts. So that to me is the biggest distinguisher, is that you don't have to cut the checks. Now, that means you don't get the biggest lion's share, but you get to learn and participate in a marketplace that has infinite potential. So no one will take that learning away from you. Like when you check this out, Tyrell, this is what I want you to get. Tyrell, with your skills, right, that you already won some contracts. If you work with a big company and you say, hey, I want some little contracts. Tyrell, now you take this big company, right, $20 million. You bring it to somebody like me or Randy. We partner up with one of the tribes, and you start doing some $5-7 million projects, right? And that's almost the same fees that you would get if you won some 50K contracts on your own. The fee, like you make the same money. But Tyrell, guess what you did do that you wouldn't have done on your own? Now you have the experience of working with the Corps of Engineers on a $5-7 million project. You got experience of working with NAVFAC or FAA or Naval Sea Commands or Nav War on a $5 to $7 million project that you didn't have that experience before. And you know the contracting officers and decision makers at those levels that you didn't know before. So now, Tyrell, imagine that you come back around with your business, because remember, this is a relationship game. And you come back and say, hey, Miss So-and-so, remember me, Tyrell? I was the one that brought you that we did that $5 million project together. Remember that company that brought you? They did a great job, right? Yeah, I found them. I brought them to you. Like, oh yeah, Tyrell, you're a good guy. I remember that. You got any more people like that? So that's the difference, is that you still get those relationships, Tyrell, with that customer. So a lot of times the kind of projects that you're working on, the contracting officers, their warrant is at a smaller level. When you start working on $5 and $10 million projects, now you deal with contracting officials who have bigger warrants, which means they can write bigger contract sizes, $10 million, $20 million warrants, as opposed to $500K, 100K warrants. So we're just stepping you up a notch, right? From and then, like you said, making it approachable. But for people who have never done this, but people like you, just accelerating like the pace at which you can do these things. By the way, you can still do this and still do your business, Tyrell. It's not, you don't have to choose, right? If it's something too small, like what I told Randy, that was one of the things that was like a light bulb for Randy. I said, Randy, if the client doesn't want the small projects, you do them. So what Randy did is her client only wanted bigger stuff. So for the client, she gave him the bigger stuff, Tyrell. And for the smaller stuff, Randy did it herself with someone like a Juliet. So Tyrell, if the person says, hey, Tyrell, we don't have any big projects right now, we only have these little projects, and your client says, well, Tyrell, I don't want any 100,000, 200K stuff. You go, okay, well, then you do it. Sam said, we're searching for companies to do business with. So how do we keep from cross-calling the companies we're looking to do business with? Sam, I still don't understand your question. What do you mean? What do you mean cross-calling the companies? I'm not sure. Are you, who's cross-calling? Like, what do you mean we? Cross-calling. Olivia says, so if the contract is 4 to 5 year periods, consultant, do we have to remain with the company we partner with for the entire duration of the contract? You do not, Olivia, have to remain with them for the entire 4 to 5 year period. Most of the time, though, what happens is contracts that are 4 to 5 years, typically they still have to bid and win those contracts. So unless, right, most of those types of contracts are IDIQ. And so typically you'll you'll find out and work with people initially, like after 6 months or so, if you want to keep working with them. So if it's a good relationship, then you keep working with them. If it's a bad relationship, then you guys, you mutually agree to terminate the contract and you go your separate ways. But I guarantee you this, you will still have learned. Like, how many people think that if you win a contract with somebody for 4 or 5 year period, that you will not have learned something from that? Like, the learning that you will have accelerated, Olivia, is you could not have paid for it if you tried to do it yourself. So the fact that you won a contract, whether you keep with the person or break up, you still won a 4 to 5 year contract that you can now have confidence that you could do it again for yourself or for somebody else. So that's my thought. Joseph, actually, I just so we've got somebody that I'm interviewing for my podcast who's a foreign service officer who handled all of the embassies around the country. So that's funny. Depending upon what situation you're in, I can refer you to this person as a resource. So, all right. I hope everybody knows where to go, where to sign up. Joseph, I look forward to seeing you guys April the 10th. Again, you do not have to be in a challenge, right? So you can still buy courses. You don't have to actually be in a challenge. You can still buy the courses and still learn on your own, regardless of the challenge. So don't feel like if you can't do the challenge that the information is still not there. Because again, we're just doing this as a way to try to help accelerate that process. But again, listen, the courses, the lessons, all the stuff I've been teaching is still going to be invaluable information, regardless of whether you do the challenge or not. So don't let not being able to do the challenge stop you standing away. Correct, Joseph. That's correct. All right. So I just want to say that. Like, I mean, the challenge is something that we threw together just to kind of accelerate people's learning, but it's not the end all be all. You still need the actual course materials to do the work, right? Because after the challenge is over, you still have to do the work. And so the course materials are going to come in handy for that. So, all right, guys. All right. Well, listen, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys in 2 days inside of Federal Help Center here. And like I said, I'm excited to work with all you. I'm excited to meet you guys. Listen, I can't wait. My man, Alan, I want to see your client. You said you got a client that could do contracts all over. I want to see him. I want to meet with them. I want to talk with you guys. I want to see you guys inside the groups, and I want to see you guys inside the community. And listen, be active. Okay. You got to be active, right? That's the only way I'm going to know your name. Trust me, you want me to know your name. You want me to know your name. One thing that I will say, most people who've had success, they make it their point to be in a building with me. So, like I said, I'll be in North Carolina next week. I'll be in Hawaii the week after, and then I'll be in Virginia the week after that. So I'll be traveling for the next 3 weeks. We'll be posting everything online everywhere. But if you've never been to an event with me, you've never been to a conference with me, you never seen me speak in person, you want to make it your business to do that. That's going to, when you see like us in real life, in fact, I'll share this with you guys. When you see it in real life, it just hits differently. It hits differently. So I want you guys to have that experience. Matter of fact, last week I did 3 events last week. So, I did this event where I taught a class. That was on Saturday. It's blurry right now. Okay, there it is. So I did this event where I taught a class Saturday, right, to a network. I did this event, right? This was Friday morning. I did this event with a group of people that I met, someone running for state senator. And then I did this event Thursday night. You see Erica and Michelle were there, hosted it. So we did this event, Make It Make Sense, right? Where I met, so that's Lisa Colon. She works for Sewing LLP, one of the top law firms in the country that's working on construction projects in South Florida, 400 partners around the country. So look, like I said, I want you guys to be in a room. Yeah, Maurice, on the events page inside of you'll see all the events coming up. All right, guys, have a great night. All right, be good. Love you guys.